episode number 1 of Mean on Mondays. I'm Jo Bolden.
I'm Teeny.
Also known
Christina
as
Woodard.
Christina Woodard. And together we have formed a partnership that we like to call as One Creative. And in the spirit of creativity, we want to ignite some conversations. We want to have some conversations. We want to be encouraging and building a community of connectedness where the creative community reaches out to people who consider themselves not a part of it, because let's be honest, we're all creative beings on some level. But we want to talk about things that sometimes make sense to us, that sometimes don't, things that have meaning. What do you mean?
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
Mean what you say.
Absolutely. Finding the meaning in something, talking about the stuff that's meaningful. And hence Mean on Mondays. No one here is being mean to anybody on Mondays, and we're absolutely not suggesting that that should be a thing. So to talk about dance specifically, I feel like those of us who dance, we do it because we're so passionate about it. We often do it, and if you ask dancers why they dance, we will often say because we love it, or
because I have to. I can't not dance.
Yeah, that's often.
It's a hard thing to describe.
It is. It's difficult sometimes to wrap words around, and I feel like it's difficult to wrap a verbal language about something that's such a physical thing. So as dancers, you can see how much it means to anybody in your life that dances, or any other creative commitment. We give up so much of it. We give up so much for it, I should say. We invest so much time in it.
We invest our bodies. We are sometimes sore. We are sometimes injured. We
often tired.
Yes, tired.
We often deal with grueling training sessions.
And sometimes not so positive feedback.
Yeah,
which can
sometimes the kind of feedback that isn't always comfortable to hear is what helps us grow.
To navigate, right.
So much. So there's almost a bond that unites people who dance, because we understand that there's an unspoken connection. There's often not a need for words to describe it, because everybody understands and sees the same energy. There's a connectedness that goes on amongst those who dance. There's a way that sometimes shows up when an awesome song comes on. You're standing in line at Starbucks. Yep. You can see the energy.
Exactly.
You can tell. You
dancing
can pick the
dancers
at 50 paces. Absolutely, dancing down the grocery store aisle.
Right. So what we want to talk about today is, does it matter if what means so much to you means the same or even makes sense to anybody else? What do you think?
I think no. I think it doesn't. It sometimes can't mean the same to anybody else. For starters, we're all individual. But I think you can't control or predict or know what somebody else is going to make sense of. You can't ever control what somebody else's opinion is going to be. But I think it's important to recognize, as a friend pointed out to me years ago, come at it from a place of love, and you'll often get that in return.
Yes.
And come at it from a defensive place, a place that expects people not to understand or to question why you love what you love, then you'll generally get more of that defensiveness back in return. And sometimes we have people in our lives, like friends, who might not understand why we are spending so much time doing something that, if they don't do it, they might not get that same. Obviously, they don't feel the same way about it if it's not something that they do, but they might not then understand it in that same way. I think you were telling me a story earlier.
I definitely had that in high school, and just a few years ago when I was in high school. Many years ago when I was in high school, I remember, missing out on parties and, movies, and friends would almost get really angry at me because they wouldn't understand why I would choose to invest in dance and be there every night rather than hanging out and spending time with them. And it wasn't because I didn't like them, and of course it wasn't because I didn't want to hang out, but I felt like I had a responsibility to my teammates. I had a responsibility to what I loved to do and what I wanted to do, and it was something that was really difficult to explain to them, and I think a lot of them didn't get it. But the ones that did, they supported me, and they came to my shows, they came to my recitals, they supported my creative projects along the way. So I think the best thing you can do is just really be true to yourself and keep going forward, and live in the positivity of what it makes you feel, even if you can't put it into words. And it can only be an example for everyone else to go, oh my gosh, well, they love that so much. How can I not support that?
And I think that ultimately it's really important to remember that the people in your life who support you, the people in your life who believe in you, the people in your life that love you, want to see you happy. So the invitation, I would say, is to be transparent about, if it's dance that brings you joy, be transparent about that. Find a way to share what it means to you. You know, give a kitchen or a living room show if that's what's going to help. But I think the invitation is to share what it brings you, share what it helps you learn or understand about dance or about life. Share the discipline that you're applying.
Share the joy, share the happiness, share.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it might not always make sense, but I think in the end it doesn't have to. There are so many things that don't make sense to me or don't mean as much to me in the people that I love, but obviously they mean a lot. And so if it means a lot to them and I can feel like I can still be a part of it, it doesn't have to be an exclusive thing, and I feel like I can be a part of what brings them so much happiness just by getting some insight from them, then I feel like that makes a huge difference. And I think in a world where it's so easy to get caught up in our phones and get caught up in just keeping to ourselves or experiencing ourselves with our earphones in and watching little dance clips on YouTube, I think it's important to share, and I think it's important to listen to each other. And I think that if you can start by doing that, you might find more people are interested in hearing about what it means to you.
Yes. So we just want to say, be you and let it out. Don't hide.
Let it read.
Yes.
Okay. Here's to you being you. The two of us. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.